name Dubai comes from an Arabic word meaning young locust. And according to some, this was a region where the locusts laid their eggs. But nowadays the buzzing of the locust has given way to the hubbub of trade and commerce, thanks to the foresight of Dubai's dynamic ruler, His Highness Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum. For local craft, the natural creek provided water, but for the large one for foreign goods, it proved itself inadequate. Port Rashid, the 15-berth deep-water harbour built between 1968 and 1972, catered for that need, and it's presently being expanded with a further 22 berths to meet the demands of the shrewd businessmen of Dubai. Industrial development was His Highness's next goal, and in order to draw this development away from domestic areas, the envisaged industrialization had to be located around the new port of Jebel Ali. The new port is located 40 kilometers southeast of Dubai, along a deserted stretch of beach where the ships of the desert will be replaced by the ships of the sea. The discussions resulted on the 2nd of August 1976 in the official signing of contracts, whereby His Highness the Ruler awarded to the Mina Jebel Ali Construction Company the civil engineering works, and to Gulf Cobbler Private Limited the dredging of approximately 110 million cubic meters. Chairman Mr. Ahmed Bakr and Director Tom van Huistee signed on behalf of Gulf Cobbler. Sheikh Hamdan, on behalf of the ruler, announced the project to the assembled international press.
في إنشاء ميناء جبل علي الذي هو سيكون من أكبر المواني في المنطقة. طاقة الميناء 74 موقع. يعتمد على اللي هو 15 موقع للصناعية، 15 موقع إلى اللي هو المواد المارة اللي هو ترانزيت، و20 25 للأغراض الصناعية.
To celebrate the winning of this contract, Dubai Transport Company's chairman, Mr. Ahmed Bakr, and Mrs. Bakr entertained local officials and businessmen from Dubai and members and directors of MJAC and Cobbler. As announced by Sheikh Hamdan, the new port would consist of 74 berths, catering for bulk carriers, general cargo vessels, container shipment, and tanker berth. Being located inland, the port required an approach channel 60 meters in depth and extending some 17 kilometers out to sea. The harbour had to be dredged to 14 meters for the seaward leg and to 11.5 meters for the inland leg. A total of 15 kilometers of berth had to be constructed. The site preparations well and truly on the way, the scheme was officially inaugurated the same day by His Highness Sheikh Saeed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, ruler of Abu Dhabi and President of the United Arab Emirates, by starting the pile driver thrusting home the first sheet pile. The rulers of the other UAE member states also attended the ceremony. The official part over, business now starts on the real work. Detailed planning for the first phase is now required, and the engineering skill of the contractors put to use. Work began officially on the 21st of June 1976 with the cutter suction dredger Dubai Bay dredging its way in from the sea, whilst a section of the coastal dunes was removed by trucks and scrapers. When a suitable protected area had been created, the dredger Port Harcourt was brought in to remove the harder materials encountered inland. Dredged material was first piled on the beach, but as soon as the dredger had worked itself sufficiently inland, reclamation of low-lying areas was started, enabling the civil contractor to prepare for construction of the quay. Gulf Cobbler had undertaken to complete the dredging of the 110 million cubic meters within 5.5 years. And in order to meet this objective, plant with a large capacity suitable for this work had to be designed and built. On the 28th of September 1976, a contract was signed with IHC Holland for the building of 2 cutter suction dredgers with 2,000 horsepower on the cutter, and with Shipyard Van Race for 1 booster station to work in conjunction with one of the dredgers. This order was doubled on the 22nd of December 1976. A cutter suction dredger with 750 cutter horsepower was also ordered with Shipyard Van Race.
Ik doop u daarbij en ik wens u behouden vaart.
On the 10th of December 1976, Mrs. van der Hoof christened Dare Bay, which was shipped to Dubai mid-December aboard the Maria Smits, commencing its task on site on the 19th of January 1977. On the 5th of May 1977, Mrs. Sarina Bakker, wife of Mr. Ahmed Bakker, chairman of the board of directors of Gulf Cobbler, launched the first of the 4 heavy-duty cutter suction dredgers and named her Jebel Ali Bay.
I christen you Jebel Ali Bay. May you have a successful, long, and happy life. God bless you.
No, take over.
On the 6th of May 1977, Mrs. Judy Lowry named and launched the Jumeirah Bay.
I christen you Jumeirah Bay and wish good luck to you and all who sail and work with you.
On the 22nd of July, Mrs. Anita Saleh, wife of Mr. Abdullah Saleh, one of the directors of Gulf Cobbler, named and launched the Maktoum Bay.
Allah Rahman Rahim. In the name of God, I christen you Maktoum Bay. God bless you and those who works on you.
Oh, yes, we're trying.
dredger Jebel Bay and wish her long and successful service. God bless her.
The last of the series was named and launched by Mrs. Mary Hutchinson on the 7th of September. This sophisticated vessel, crammed with electronic devices, will work in conjunction with 3 split hopper barges of 1,250 cubic meters each. These barges, built by A. Falcon Sons, are fitted out with Kongsberg dynamic positioning systems, enabling location keeping unattached to the dredger. Being fully classed for sea voyages, they sail to Dubai under their own steam. The works, with all equipment on site, progressed as planned, and sections of completed areas, together with quay walls, were handed over in time. To meet those schedules, the inner harbour excavation was divided into 2 sections. The seaward leg, with entrance channel, to be dredged, and the excavator material to be used to reclaim surrounding low-lying land and an offshore area, and the inner leg, on a subcontract basis, to be excavated in the dry and the material used to raise levels of a large inland area. The total, 53 million cubic meters, to be dredged consisted of 20% sand, 30% sandstone, and 50% breccia of various degrees of hardness. Most of the sand was to be stockpiled for use of backfilling behind quay walls, and also the sandstone was partly stockpiled for use of road-based construction. The breccia was mainly placed in the offshore reclamation area. The vastly different types of material to be dredged required different dredging techniques, and particularly for the breccia transportation, optimum performance of the main dredge pump engines was required. To maintain a high performance, particularly the cutter with its changeable cutter teeth had to be kept in good condition, sometimes requiring 10 cutter teeth changes a day. The dredged material is then pumped through pipelines, sometimes aided by booster stations, to reach the maximum 5 kilometers delivery length towards the disposal grounds. Here, the uninterrupted dredging process is achieved by disposing through a number of branch lines, at the same time spreading the material over larger areas. With pumping, the high abrasive material wear on the equipment and pipes is high, and a measurement team is recording the wear process continuously, enabling optimal use of pipes. Cutters are also under constant repair. To cope with all the repair and constructional work, a well-equipped workshop has been established. After an uneventful trip from Japan, the Al Wasl Bey arrived on site and was immediately put to work in the approach channel. The vessel is equipped with 4 pairs of legs, each pair consisting of a movable leg mounted in a carriage and a fixed leg. The raising and lowering of these legs is done hydraulically through a rack and pinion system. The dredged material is disposed of through chutes mounted on the aft pontoon, loading the self-propelled barges. The ladder, positioned between the 2 pontoons and hinged to the aft pontoon, swings through an arc from port to starboard by means of side wires connected to anchors. These anchors were also specially designed to enable them to be replaced even in adverse weather conditions. They each consist of 3 tubular 24-meter-long hollow columns connected together at the bottom. By filling the columns with water, the anchor is settled on the seabed, after which the desired strain can be applied to the side wire. Clearly, forward movement of the dredger necessitates repositioning of the anchors from time to time, and this can be done by pumping out sufficient water to raise the anchor from the seabed, and once repositioned, to refill it again. For all personnel employed on the project, accommodation had to be built. Married expatriates of the consultant, of the civil contractor, and of the dredging contractor were housed in Mina Jebel Ali village, comprising of 300 bungalows, a swimming pool, clubs, sporting and medical facilities. Moreover, since most of the personnel will be here for the duration of the contract, they've turned their houses into positive homes. One of the most important facilities provided was a Dutch-English school, catering for the full range of elementary level education.
Ja, lekker schat. Dat heb ik wel doen. Trouwens, gehoord dat het bijzonder slecht is buiten. Hè? Dat die jongens die aan boord gegaan zijn van het eiland, die kunnen er niet af.
Ook leuk. Hier is te drinken voor jullie, hè?
Heerlijk.
Zo. Sascha drinken, hè? Ja.
Ja, kom hier. Laten we even kijken. Laat eens even kijken. Wat heb je erin? Laat eens kijken. Doe eens open.
Er staat een roodje.
Nee, dat is ook niet. Zeg maar niet. Ja, mooi zo. Laat eens kijken. Laat eens kijken. Haal het er eens uit.
Alsjeblieft. Mooi.
For young and old alike, however, few pastimes here are more popular than windsurfing and sailing. For those who've come out here without families, there's the beach camp, with its first-class kitchen and well-stocked bar.
Kijk.